Welcome, everyone, to the NBA. On 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Home court advantage goes to the Rockets playing here in Houston. So the Rockets win the tip. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Indiana, Hill and Stuckey are the guard set. Paul George is out there with Lavoy Allen. And it's Mahinmi in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And guys, Dwight Howard's an interesting guy, one of the most physically imposing players in our league, and yet he's known for his lighthearted, almost playful nature.
Outside for George. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Mahinmi. Hill has the open look. Mahinmi dishes to George. Out to Stuckey. Outside Hill. Indiana moving the ball around. And George, here we go. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. And for Howard, his parents raised him to keep a smile on his face and stay upbeat and remain positive. He's done all those things and still competed in the rough and tumble world of pro basketball.
Yeah, and yet some of his peers and contemporaries have gone at him. Durant, for instance, Kobe Bryant called himself, Byron Scott questioned his desire. Guys go about their work in different manners.
Now here's Stuckey. George Hill missing his last shot. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. Harden against Stuckey. Beverly wide open, and it's off from three-point range. Pacers have gone 0 of 4, missing their first 4 field goals here. George against Ariza. And George, here we go. A shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Modiunas, a screen on Hill. Now here's Beverly. Feeds it to Modiunas. And that one's good. Beverly's got his first basket.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Hill passes to Stuckey. Ariza against George. The kick out to Hill. Back to George. 16 feet away, and good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. George has got his second basket.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Well, and guys, before last season, Trevor Ariza signing a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Rockets. Big free agent get for the team.
And, you know, they wanted to re-sign Chandler Parsons, Kevin, but with his departure, in comes Ariza, and Trevor is a quality replacement. I mean, a terrific wing defender, and he's a nice spot-up shooter as well.
Now, here is Hill. They set the screen. Outside, George. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Stuckey kicks to Allen. Poke loose. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. Ariza no luck.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
George dishes to Stuckey, and there's the call on Patrick Beverley. That's his first foul. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Out of bounds, Houston takes possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Harden gets the bucket.
A strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
Pacers trail by 4. Outside, George. Second shot opportunity, and that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Now, here's Beverley. And it's Howard finishing it off.
And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play, the board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
That's good. Mahimi's got his first bucket of the night. Houston in the lead. Here's Moniunas. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Whoa. That'll wake you up. My goodness.
Is he an athlete or what?
No doubt about it. It's almost as if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
Now, here is Hill. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. To the inside. Moniunas with the steal. It's Harden with the drive. Excellent D there from Allen.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
The shot by George, no good.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
And it's the Pacers with the ball, following the score by Houston. Blanketed by the D, he fights to the rim for the layup. George has got 6.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. they missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt him inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Now here's Ellis. And K.J. McDaniels gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Ellis with a screen on Terry. Turner passes to Lawson. Clock at 6. Back to Turner. Lots of room. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet.
Yeah, it's just a smart shot, taking advantage of the mismatch.
Well, with a stroke like that and the height advantage as well, the mid-range J is almost a gimme.
It's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lawson.
Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
And so here is Houston. On the wing, Jason Terry. 6 on the shot clock. Puts up a 3. And the basket by Brewer.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Lawson's against Terry. Now here's Turner. D right on him. Back to Lawson. Dishes to Hill. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Here's Lawson following the score by Houston. Kicks it to Ellis. Pick up by Hill. Pass to Turner from outside the arc. Rockets with the rebound.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Stolen by Miles. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Turner leading the charge. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
We've seen a lot of their points coming off penetration in the first half.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
He hits the second from the line.
And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And with the Rockets, it's no secret that they take a very analytical approach to team building. Greg, you and I have talked about that. And Clark, you know, you wonder if that hurts them in free agency.
Well, you know, when your front office makes no qualms about viewing players as simply just assets, it can be a hard sell to a free agent.
Now here's Terry, looking for his first basket still in this one. And Brewer with the stuff.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Here's Ellis. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line. That one is on Beasley. Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot. When things are on the line, he is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and fourth quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games for them last season.
And the Rockets with possession here. It's a three-point game. Here's Capella. Turner covering. That's good. Capella's got his first bucket in this one.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Ellis can't get it to go.
Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seems like at least half a dozen games for them, he would just take over. Started to get looked at as the top go-to guy late.
The shot's good from Lawson.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint. Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
And so it's Indiana with it, following the score by Houston. Miles, that's good.
That was just a perfect possession, getting it in tight for the high percentage shot.
And it's Terry off the drive. Capella kicks to Beasley. Off target with the open look.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
It's a tie game here in Houston. And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do. And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And, you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And looking at what we've seen from Houston, what do you guys think?
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively.
Oh!
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. There's a screen. The shot by George, no good.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it. Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
Quarter number 2. We're about a minute in. Outside Hill. Mahimi with it, working on Howard. Mahimi dishes to Hill. Ball's knocked loose, stolen by Beverly. Down low. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
Well, for James Harden, with his incredible regular season last year, Clark, you knew he was in for a great postseason as well.
And it was a bit of a roller coaster for him in the playoff run. I mean, he could vanish one game, but then explode for 40 in the next.
Pacers trail by 8. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Poked loose, stolen by Beverly.
If they can't take care of the basketball, they're going to have a very hard time turning this game around.
True. Their turnovers are piling up in this quarter.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And with Harden in the playoffs, it was an all-or-nothing situation at times. He definitely stole some games for Houston in their run to the conference finals. But, man, did he have a rough one when they were eliminated by the Warriors.
Here's Moniunas. That's good. And so Howard with the assist.
You know, usually teams go on runs and it comes from a lot of layups and dunks. But that's not the case here.
Well, it's about rhythm, and they put this run together on the strength of their mid-range jump shot. They might as well be layups with the way they're shooting.
And George with the stuff.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
Here's Harden. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. Harden's got 6 points in the quarter.
And you know, that tough game for Harden in the conference finals, a dozen turnovers for him, set an NBA record for most turnovers in a playoff game. Not how he wanted to go out, but he showed he can carry a team for stretches during the playoffs.
And George, here we go. That's his 6th field goal today, and that makes him now 6 for 11. Rockets leading by 7. Harden outside. And the jam by Montejunas.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Already he's looking at his 3rd foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the 3rd quarter.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for the Rockets. George passes to Stuckey. Shot clock at 6. Hill kicks to Stuckey. Allen dishes to George. Sees the alley-oop. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And here's Houston. They're on a 16-7 run.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
Beverly, the pass to Beasley. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about, but all around the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yeah, 3rd in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench, 1st in the NBA in bench rebounding, and top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Pacers trail by 11. Outside Hill. To the middle. Here's Allen, and it's sent back by Howard. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. Another miss by Houston. The Pacers have gone 50% from the floor in the 2nd quarter, 3 of 6. And there's the feed to Allen. Stuckey drives inside. Back to Allen. On the wing, Hill, covered by Beasley. George dishes to Allen. The shot's good on the assist by George. Allen's got 5 points so far.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Harden kicks to Howard. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. The Rockets making a switch here. Brewer's checked in.
Checking in for your Rockets, Corey Brewer.
Here's Beverly. He's got 8. And Brewer kicks to Harden. Houston moving the ball around. And Howard with the stuff.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the 2-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
The pass to Allen. Back to George. Allen passes to George. Can't get it to go. So Houston will take it the other way. Harden against Stuckey. Now here's Beasley. He's tightly guarded. Excellent D there from Allen. Pacers trail by 11. And George, here we go. There's the killer 2-handed slam.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful 2-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
And the rejection by Mahimi. Indiana's gone 0-2 from deep here in the 2nd. George dishes to Hill. He kicks to Allen. It's back to Hill. In the corner, Stuckey with it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's hauled in by Beverly.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities. And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because You want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
Hill kicks to Allen. Excellent D there from Beasley. Rockets leading by 8. Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
For the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and it's KJ McDaniels in for James Harden. Passes to Turner. And it's Ellis penetrating. There's the dish to Hill. Well, for Jordan Hill, something wonderful happened to him last season. The breakthrough he'd been waiting for on his 6th year.
Yeah, Kevin, you know, it had to do, and I think correlated with him getting a chance to start games, and it blew up for him from there. Posted career-high averages across the board.
He's off on the second, and Miles kicks to Lawson. Ellis with it, and Terry picks him up defensively. And it's Ellis penetrating, and they will call over the back on the play.
Yeah, a bit over-eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up. Because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time.
Kicks it out to Terry, to the paint. Turner with the steal. And now Ellis running the floor all by himself. And rejection by McDaniels. Here's Beasley. Kicks it out to Terry. Here's Capella. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
And getting back to Jordan Hill, everyone had been waiting for this. I mean, greater activity, more aggressiveness, and he puts up career highs in points, rebounds, and assists.
And the Pacers call time here.
On the topic of Jordan Hill, hey, there aren't many guys like him with his size who can move that well. He's entering the prime of his career right now. Will he continue to ascend, or will he be content with where he's at? Time will tell.
Watson the pass to Ellis. He dishes it to Turner. A minute 20 left to play here in the second quarter. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And that one misses. Indiana didn't have a great record on the road last season. Only went Clark 15 and 26 on the year, and it crushed them down the stretch.
It really did, Kevin. I mean, the Pacers had a bumpy year with all of the injuries, particularly with George being out for most of the year. His absence was most noted in those tough road games.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
And for the Pacers, perhaps the biggest loss of the season for them was on the road. Couldn't get it done in Memphis on the final day of the season to try and get into the postseason.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, here's a little factoid about the Pacers on the road last season, guys. They were much better shooting free throws on the road. The difference between their road and home free throw percentage was the largest positive mark in the league. That's kind of strange.
Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division, and as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs, but the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
Inside, here's Capella. Pacers with the rebound. There's 47 seconds left in the second quarter. Out to Turner. Terry against Lawson. Back to Turner. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. And it's Brewer finishing it off.
And that's how you take the steal and turn it into a transition opportunity.
I think that's the perfect time to do it, Greg. I mean, those few seconds after the turnover, strike right away because the defense has no chance to get organized.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Here's Ellis. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Ellis has got 5.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Count that one.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Just 4 seconds left in the first half of basketball. That'll do it for the first half.
Dwight, you got
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaq and Kenny. The Houston found themselves in a close game in the first. The biggest lead for... And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game.
The second half just about to get going here.
George having a fantastic game. He has 18 points and 1 steal as well. You know, as tremendous as his stats are, what I've liked most is just the effort he's put into this game.
And Clark, he's worked his tail off at the offensive end, and his D, it has been on point.
Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Mota Eunice and Howard the post pair, and it's Beverly in a point. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Turner lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Turner's got the first bucket of the third here for the Pacers. Beverly against Lawson. Here's Mota Eunice. Howard dishes to Mota Eunice. It's deflected. Stolen by Harden. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Turner against Howard. 4 on the clock. Here's Ellis. Outside for Miles. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Miles has got 7 points in the game. Houston leading by 7. On the wing, Harden. He's guarded by Ellis. Harden against Ellis. Harden gets the bucket. He's got 10. The Pacers shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. Pass to Turner. He feeds it to Ellis. Dishes to Miles. Shot clock at 6. And Turner kicks to Lawson. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
And the Rockets were a tough team last year, but at times it really felt like a one-man show. Harden carried them so much for so long. You just have to wonder if it wore him out.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor.
There we go, fans. Keep
Houston
it
in the lead.
Rockets power dancers.
Beverly with the ball. He's got 8. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
That's his first personal.
And if carrying the team during the regular season wore Harden down, Greg, you're talking about, it didn't show that much in the playoffs. Harden was phenomenal most, if not Clark, all of the postseason.
I would agree with you, but there also were some other guys for Houston that did step up in the postseason. Howard looked as good as he did before all of his injuries, as a case in point.
Hill kicks to George. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by Beverly.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
It's Harden with the drive, and it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal foul.
A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And Beverly kicks to Howard. Back to Beverly. Houston moving the ball around. It's taken away by Stuckey. One-on-one fast break. That falls. Nice feed that time from George.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
On the wing, Hill, defended by Beverly, and there's the call on Patrick Beverly.
That's his second.
That's foul number 2 for him. Feeds to Mahimi. Kicks it to George. The 15-footer. And it's Mahimi finishing it off.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean
that
was, Gary. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
And George, here we go, and it's good.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy.
Moniutis in the post, defended by Allen.
Well, it's been a great start for this offense here in the second half. 4 for 4.
Ariza against George. Here is Mahimi. Back to George. 5 on the clock. And the layup is good. George has got 22 points.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
Ariza with the bucket.
Listen, you got James Harden, clearly the front runner for the best shooting guard in the NBA, arguably in the conversation for the best player in our league. And listen, he's a league leader in scoring a season ago. He's a one-man wrecking crew offensively.
Timeout called the Pacers. And James Harden really an offense unto himself, as Greg was just talking about. They had a stat which combined three-pointer made and three-point makes created with a pass. Harden was first, and Clark, it wasn't even close.
Well, that was a mouthful in terms of breaking down those analytics, but I tell you what, he does a great job of attacking and finding teammates for threes. I can put it simply that way.
Robinson's checked in for Indiana. Hill comes in for Rodney Stuckey. From deep, George, but they recover it. Mahinmi passes to George, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
Hill dishes to Mahinmi. The shot no good. And it's Houston the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. And it's a 10-point Rocket lead. Pacers have gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. Nobody near George. George missing again.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half after making just one in the first.
Pacers trail by 10. Outside Hill. Back to George. Good, the assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists tonight. For Houston, they've got nearly everything to drop this quarter. They're 7 of 8 from the floor since halftime.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Robinson kicks to Hill. At the elbow, it's George. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Capella's checked in, and it's Beasley in for Montejunas. Robinson passes to George. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Hill has the open look. No good from outside.
From a man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection.
Here's Robinson, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Beverly against Hill. Beverly dishes to Capella. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Capella's got 7 points.
And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
Outside Robinson from deep 3-point range. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists tonight. Rockets leading by 3. Kicks it out to Beasley. To the middle. That's tipped. Here's Capella. Guarded by Mahinmi. Capella with the bucket. Capella's got 4 points this quarter. Pacers trail by 5. Now Hill. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Hill kicks to Robinson. The drive by Hill. 6 on the shot clock. Robinson passes to Mahinmi. Here's Hill. That's good. 1:09 left in the third quarter of the game. And Beverly kicks to Ariza. To the paint. Here's Capella. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He's had almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Brewer is checked in for Ariza. KJ McDaniels comes in for James Harden. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. Turner with it, guarded now by Michael Beasley. 6 to shoot. Here's Miles. It's tipped out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Rockets leading by 4.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
Hill inside. He's up against Beasley. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jordan Hill. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
No question about it. No flop there. That was a direct shot to the chest.
Stolen by McDaniels. Brewer dishes to Terry. The Rockets have gone 9 of 13 from the line. And he can't get the first one.
And they're having a lot of trouble at the line today. And unfortunately, it's the kind of day we've seen this team have a lot.
And here is Ellis. He has 5. Got a piece of it. McDaniels. No luck. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Rockets lead by 7. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. On the court right now for the Pacers. C.J. Miles is out there with Hill. Then it's Lawson. Then there's Ellis. And it's Turner in at the 5 down low.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Here is Miles. Turner passes to Miles, and Turner kicks to Miles. From outside the arc, and he gets it to go.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Pass to Terry. Hill against Beasley. Turner with the steal. And here we go. Ellis can't get it to go. Rockets leading by 6. To the wing on the left, expanding his range. A nice shot by McDaniels.
And tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
You called it, Greg. As much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Lawson dishes to Turner. Now here's Ellis. He's covered closely. Shot clock at 5. Miles with another miss. Rockets shooting has been brilliant in this game. 67% from the floor. And really deep through that time. And it's a 12-point Rocket lead.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Lawson kicks to Turner. Ellis wide open. It's Ellis on the wing. Second chance shot. Ellis draws the double. From past the arc. And the Pacers can't get it to go. The Rockets have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll.
You know what? He's never been known as a three-point shooter. Not sure why he continues to try.
Miles, that's good.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Terry against Lawson. Terry the pass to Hop.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Lawson's against Terry. And it's Ellis penetrating, and Michael Beasley picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Monty Eunice is checked in for Beasley. Riza comes in for Corey Brewer. James Harden, he is checked in for McDaniels. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Jason Terry. And it's Allen with the jam.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Hill dishes to Stuckey. Allen against Monty Eunice. The feed to Stuckey. Fires from deep. It's rebounded by Houston. Here's Ariza. It's rebounded by Stuckey.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
But they get it back. Hill, no good. Houston leading by 13. It's Harden with the drive. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Harden doing it all. 19 points and 6 assists. It's been a really complete performance for him today.
And Fark, he's made a huge impact at both ends of the floor. And guys, you know, we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating. Dwight Howard may be the best overall rebounder in the last decade. 5 times out of the last 8 years, he's led the league in rebounding. That's almost impossible to do in the modern NBA.
Allen kicks to George. Back to Allen. The 11-footer. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got 5 assists in the game. Howard is still Clark, an efficient rebounder, still prolific in fact, but he's no longer dominant. Last year he had not one 20-plus rebound game. Tell me the last time that happened.
Well, you know, this being Dwight's 12th season in the league, Kevin, a lot of wear and tear on him. I think he's trying to fight through it, and he's still very much more than serviceable. Wants to get a ring, and he's doing his part to try to make that happen.
Here's Stuckey, and you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
Rockets leading by 11. Harden the pass to Ariza. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Greg, you were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
That's good. And that's now 30 points here for George.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists. How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
There's the pick. Fires the 3. Monty Eunice grabs the miss.
Tell you what, the defense has nothing to worry about out there with him shooting. I mean, he can't dial it in from deep this half at all.
Ariza with the bucket.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
And Greg, I have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I hate to see teams get conservative with the lead. As long as they're good shots, take them. And as long as they're falling, continue to take them.
To the middle. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Ariza. 23 points for James Harden.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
And for Trevor Ariza, almost exclusively a perimeter player on the offense last year. New scheme, Greg, new teammates, big adjustment.
Yeah, the Rockets having Dwight Howard camping out in the lane and James Harden needing space for dribble drives. Not much room to operate inside for Ariza.
But they do like his defense, and we know he can hit the 3. It's a pretty valuable commodity. So it's the Pacers now. They trail by 18. Ellis dishes to Turner. Knocked away. And so the ball out of bounds. Howard touched it last.
Indiana ball.
Here is Miles. Screen by Ellis. There's the screen. And Miles kicks to Hill. Clock at 6. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
And the jam by Moniunas.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
Ariza kicks to Harden. This one for 3. The rebound by Turner. Pacers trail by 20. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Ellis has got his 5th assist in this one.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
Indiana making some changes. Paul George comes in for Hill, and George Hill's subbed in for Young. Rockets leading by 17. Beverly the pass to Moniunas. Beverly dishes to Moniunas. Back to Beverly. No good on the 3. For Monte not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monte's was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monte deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. And not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monte was to the Mavs. Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
And he's good on the second.
And talking about C.J. Miles, he was filthy last year. Indiana needed his spark offensively, especially without Paul George in the lineup. Miles responded by putting up career highs in points and minutes played. Just an unbelievable impact on the season. And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
Hill against Beverly. Here's George, and they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end.
Come on now, young fella. Watch out. You might bring that whole basket down on top of you.
I didn't think he was ever going to let go of the rim.
I tell you what, though, you might as well enjoy the moment. Make it last just a little longer.
And for most every team out there, guys, they're looking for a guy like C.J. Miles. Decent size, natural movement skills, and can absolutely shoot the lights out. Call them buckets, because that's a lethal formula.
And Beverly kicks to Moniunas. Howard trying to free himself up. Moniunas' shot is good. And the Rockets lead by 14.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
George with the screen on Beverly. From deep. The shot by George, no good. Houston leading by 14.
And there's no doubt about this, playing with a lot of confidence. It's a state victory for the Rockets.
Generous ball movement tonight, a thing of beauty.
Yeah, remarkable team effort, Kevin. Everybody got involved, and that paid dividends.
And as we've come to expect, another big game tonight and an impressive exhibit for James Harden. He was everywhere defensively, offensively. So I think was the difference.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Moniunas. Here's Howard. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Now here is Hill. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Checking in for your Rockets, Clint Capella.
Stolen by George.
KJ McDaniels. Jason Terry.
Turner passes to Hill. Ellis outside. So we see Houston taking the W here. They poured it on tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away from this win. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game.
2K Sports post-game show.
Evan, appreciate it. And now let's present our Georgia player of the game, James Harden. He put up a new season high tonight, and if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here. What'd you think, Kenny?
That was the James Harden we've come to know and love. A player that brings nothing but fear to players that have to guard him. I've said this for a while now. He's the best one-on-one player in the NBA. And even if it's not a one-on-one situation, even if you throw the kitchen sink at him, he still gets the job done. It's the confidence, the drive, and the spirit that makes James Harden a superstar.
I don't know if there's a fan.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal,